Hi, so thank you so much for joining me today. I'm hoping that you could start just by sharing some of the work that you and the Associated have been doing over the past week since the attack in Israel on Saturday.
Okay, well, I have to start off by just saying my uh, hopefully people join in collective thoughts and prayers for the people of Israel and for the people who have just been struck by this horrific terrorist, just unfathomable act. Um, I just it's too difficult to kind of like wrap your head around. But what I would say is, as soon as news came of what occurred, then it was our responsibility to make sure, because there were a number of different rumors of what was happening, and different emails flying around. And one of the benefits of having a system like we do is that we've got reach into Israel and have partners on the ground that could give us real-time information about what was transpiring and how we could be effective in helping at that particular moment of time in time. Now, the realities have changed incredibly over the last 24 hours, 48 hours. So we were able to collect all kinds of information, do a needs assessment, speak to our partners, in particular in Ashkelon and in other parts of the country, in order to ascertain exactly what we could be helpful in doing. And then we developed a plan in order to fundraise and give people an opportunity in Jewish Baltimore and beyond Jewish Baltimore. I must say that people responding are not just Jewish. There are people that say, we need to make a statement, and we need to make sure that people who value civility and humanity and are helping to build lives of goodness and kindness need to be supported. So we've been raising money. We've been, in addition to that, we've been holding community briefings of getting people together. We just had one with the Embassy of Israel and with Senator Cardin. We've had gatherings of prayer. There was one on Monday evening. There was one on Tuesday evening. So we're trying to get people real-time information of things that are relevant and meaningful to Baltimoreans, the connection to Ashkelon, how they can individually do something. And so that's been basically how we've been spending our time. And also making sure that we're supporting our partners emotionally, not just financially, but emotionally. You can only imagine the devastation that this and the toll that this takes on individuals as they're processing this in Israel. And so we're trying to be there for them emotionally as well.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. One thing that I know the Associate has been really putting out there is your emergency fund. Could you share how exactly are the funds from that being used to support Israel right now?
It's an evolving answer, but up to now, again, we have agents on the ground. We have not-for-profits that we've been working with for decades. The Jewish Agency for Israel, the American Jewish Joint Distribution Committee, the Israel Trauma Coalition, our partners in Ashkelon. So we're getting information about what funds are needed. And as a matter of fact, I could read to you, there's an email that I got from our coordinator last night in Ashkelon, Sigal Arieli, who was in a safe room in her home with her child. And she's telling me what exactly they need. They needed mattresses for bomb shelters. They needed a generator for where power has been lost. They needed bulletproof vests for volunteers that were going to visit the elderly, of making sure that they could be moved to safe places in the poorer sections of town. So it's an evolving thing. We sent an emergency grant to Barzilai Hospital that's right there on the border, located in Ashkelon, 7 miles away from all the action. Ashkelon has been the recipient of so many, every time I speak to somebody from Ashkelon, you hear the sirens go off. Today, during our briefing, Sigal Arieli was on the call. She had to leave because there was a siren that went off. So, as was said during the call, no more of a real-time look at how this is affecting their lives. You know, that every time a siren goes off, into a safe room and not knowing what's going to happen. So our funds are going to real needs, real-time needs, some things that are very basic, toys for children to keep them active in the shelters, to as I said, vests for people that are volunteering in order to make sure the elderly and the infirmed and the handicapped are moved to areas where they're out of harm's way. So it's and trauma counseling and medicine and rehabilitative services. This is going to be a long, long recovery for the Israelis.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you have time for just one more question, I'm hoping you could share a little bit more. I know you've already touched on it. How hard exactly has Ashkelon, Baltimore's sister city, been hit by this? And just what are you hearing from people in general there?
What I'm hearing, and again, I keep on looking down here because I can read you a number of different things that have come in. I guess it was last night, you know, days are running into days where I was speaking to somebody from Ashkelon and they had to get off the phone because they received news that there was a terrorist at the industrial zone in the southern part of Ashkelon. They had to get off because they wanted to get to a safe place so that they and their family were safe. And they called me back once the terrorists were found and killed, because they again, the people of Ashkelon, they wake up one day and there are terrorists that are roaming around their streets, indiscriminately shooting people and taking over facilities. It's something that I think will scar Israelis, Ashkelonians in particular, and bringing the images of pogroms and Holocaust. There's been equating this with 9/11, but for the Jewish community, this is something that that I don't think any of us ever thought that we would see again. Seeing body bags stacked up in trucks. As I said earlier to a news media outlet, this has shown what the Israelis have been dealing with. This group Hamas is not interested in peace. They're interested in the ultimate destruction of Israel. And that's been in the full view of the world, to see just the barbaric, monstrous behavior of this group and what they're capable of. I just hope that everybody keeps Israel and its people in their thoughts and prayers, and the Associated and other organizations, but I speak for the Associated, is going to make sure that everything within our power, we are taking care of those people that need a caring hand and a steady hand in order to make sure that they're supported.
Thank you so much for taking the time. We all, of course, have Israel in our thoughts, and best of luck on everything that you're doing in helping them.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.